So welcome back to Morrison Madness. We decided, as part of the last episode, that we were just gonna, since my mom was here, and she had some extra time, we were just gonna continue on with some more.
And there's so many stories of Don getting hurt when he was little.
Yes.
You betcha.
So many trips to
We
the
can
hospital.
just keep going.
So
The rest of the year, all podcasts about Don being injured when he was a child.
anybody that's our age is going to remember that when you went to the hospital, everything was in a paper file, right? And they had those plastic ring things, and then when it got so thick, they started another book. Well, by the time I was an adult, I had many.
I don't remember anything like that. I never had a book at the hospital. Just so you know, a lot of people don't know about the book at the hospital because they didn't have that. I had a doctor that I went to. I didn't go to the hospital.
Well, by the time I was an adult, I had so many books that when they would have to call for mine, they would have to send a cart down to bring them up. And it got to the point where I memorized my hospital number because it saved time.
Right. I know that because you still say it now. And they're like, you have your hospital number memorized? And he's like, it's so much easier.
We skipped the middleman. We went straight to the ER.
Well,
right.
yeah, because of the stuff. Well, I mean, I didn't get hit by a bus and stuff. I mean, I had a cold. I needed a physical. That's the kind of. I went to the doctor for those things. I didn't get hit by a bus or, smack myself in the face with a jump rope.
The bus bounced off his
No,
bionic arm.
right. The bus bounced off of you.
So
right.
since we're these podcasts are mainly focusing on trying to embarrass Don, we
don't have to try very hard, dear.
we can discuss a little bit more. I had mentioned about having appendicitis, right? So I went to the hospital. Only this time we didn't go to the university. This is like the only major incident that I've ever had where I was seen at Mercy Hospital, which was weird to me. I don't know why.
When you were a child.
Even as an adult, I've never had a surgery or a stay. I've gone to the ER at Mercy, but I've never had a stay.
I think because your doctor, Maxwell, wasn't he tied with Mercy? And I had called him and he said he'd meet me there.
Okay, I don't know. So I had appendicitis. I had an appendectomy. And back then, they didn't just do the surgery and send you home later that day or the next morning. You were in the hospital for like 3 days.
Oh, right.
So on the second day, my mom is there. I think my grandma was there to come and visit. And I get out of bed. and my mom does like to torture me. She likes to say mean things to me. And she knew that if she made me laugh, that it hurt when I laughed. And so she's saying all of these things to make me laugh and being mean. And I kept telling her if she didn't knock it off, I was going to call the nurse and have her removed from the room. And she said, well, how are you going to do that when you can't get to the call button? And so I got up out of bed to get to the call button. And again, I realized that I'm overweight now, right? When I was a kid, I was so skinny.
Right.
Right? So I get up out of bed and I go to take a step towards the nurse call button thing, and my pants fall down around my ankles. And my mom starts laughing, and I can't bend over and pick them up because I just had an appendectomy, and I'm stuck there with her laughing and me not being able to bend over and pick them up.
So wait,
And Grandma's going, oh, honey.
That was Grandma's response to everything. Oh, honey.
So we hear that too. But wait, just to clarify though, so a lot of people when they're in the hospital and they have the hospital pants, you still have the hospital robe. Were you not having the robe on?
The kids don't.
No. Okay, so you didn't have a shirt on or
No.
anything that was. So you're just standing there butt naked at that point with your pants around your ankles. That's what I was checking. Okay. Oh, honey.
So by the time I could finally get the nurse call button and get the nurse in there and get Grandma help me pull my pants up, my mom's still just sitting there laughing.
And you were probably laughing so hard you couldn't move.
The nurse comes in and I tell the nurse that I want my mom removed. And the nurse is like, what? I'm like, I'm serious. Get her out of here. I don't want her in here.
I got to stay. I promised I wouldn't make him laugh.
Oh, so mean.
I know.
But if she hadn't been, you wouldn't have had that great story.
Yeah, what will we talk about tonight?
And my kids wonder why I was mean to them.
Right.
Right? I mean, you if you don't have that, you're not prepared for the real world.
That's true.
You know?
That's
I
true.
mean, as much as my mom tortured me, people can say stuff to me in public now, and I'm like, well, yeah, okay, you've not met my mom.
Right.
It doesn't. You're right. I'm fat and I'm ugly. I don't know what to tell you. You got nothing on my mom, so take a back seat, buddy. Your insults aren't going to work over here.
Oh, shoot.
So we were in the break between the two podcasts. We had been discussing another incident that happened. I don't think I had to go to the hospital for this.
No.
But we were on
Probably
vacation.
should have. But I didn't know where the hospital was.
There's probably lasting effects that we don't know about at this point.
So many lasting. From each one, it's just compounded. There's a lot of lasting effects. I can attest to that.
I don't even remember how old I was. I feel like Michelle was a baby.
18 months old.
Okay.
And
So then I would have been 6.5.
So just, was this before?
5.5?
So this is before you got hit by the bus? Because if you were 6 or
maybe.
7 when you got hit by the bus, and now
yeah,
you're 5.5.
around the same time.
Oh, good.
Maybe.
Right. Just keep piling on.
So we took a family vacation to Six Flags.
First one ever.
Was it the last one as well after all this?
No, because we went to the Ozarks together.
Wasn't that all on the same trip?
No, the Ozarks was later.
Okay.
The Ozarks I was in junior high.
Okay.
So we went on a trip to Six Flags, and right before we got to Six Flags, a little boy had gotten on the ski lift, and when he got into the chair, he got bit by a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. So that was this big news story, right? And we were staying at a hotel.
And you needed to one-up him? Is that where this is going?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just
checking.
remember that detail.
Okay.
And we were staying at this hotel, and we were on the second level, and it all of the doors opened to outside, right? So then there's this
Like,
deck all the way
right.
around the outside,
Right.
right? And it has this railing on it. And I'm waiting on Mom and Dad to be ready to go, and I'm running up and down on this deck, right?
Okay.
And it's a long deck. Very long. But, he's bionic.
Right.
He can run as fast as the $6
No,
million
no.
man.
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I ran so fast on my little bionic legs that one of the times when I got to the end, I couldn't
His
stop.
brakes failed.
Oh, good Lord.
And there was quite a space between the railings.
A couple feet. Wow.
And he disappeared.
And I
Just fell off the
just
face of the earth.
shot off the edge of that deck. And down below, there's these giant, like we have evergreen bushes in front of our
Right.
house, right? And you're always complaining because I don't do a good job keeping them trimmed.
Yep.
These things had never seen like they'd never even heard the word trimmer, right? They were just like
All over everywhere.
Yes.
Bushes.
Right.
and,
Crazy
and
bushes.
huge, right? Yeah, and I go flying off of the end of this thing and down into this bush, and I can't get out.
One with nature.
Short legs.
I can't reach the ground. I'm just stuck in this bush, and I can't climb around in it. It was not good.
No. And I hear, Mom. Nowhere. I mean, nowhere.
You couldn't find him.
And it's dark.
Oh.
I mean, it was evening.
Oh.
So when I did figure it out, I was scared. I really
Right.
was scared. It's a long drop.
Sure.
And so we go down and get him out of the bushes.
This is my daughter Michelle. This is my son Don. We got him out of the bushes.
And when we came, he could walk on his own. So I called the manager and I go, we need a room on the ground floor immediately. Well, I don't know. The only one we have is near the street. I said, I'll take it.
I'm not sure putting him near the street was
I
any
know,
better.
but he
At
thought he
least the
could
bushes.
fly. I mean,
The bushes would catch him. I mean, otherwise it's another bus. I mean, I'm not sure
I know.
the street
I
was
don't
any
think the
better.
bus had happened at that point.
No, right.
I was worried about Michelle
sure.
with the street being
Right.
that close to the door, but I just
Oh,
couldn't
good
trust
Lord.
him not because he didn't know how to walk. He ran everything he did. He ran.
Right.
I didn't
I mean-
know how to walk at 5.5.
You ran everywhere. Ran. You were in a hurry.
Don Forrest Morrison. Run, Don, run.
Yeah. Oh boy. And again, your dad wasn't happy. Just kill him now. Put him out of his misery.
I feel like my dad was miserable my entire childhood. He just lived in fear of that phone call.
Yep. But he was with us. But it was my fault. I should have been watching you. I was watching Michelle.
Right. He didn't know how to watch him. That's why.
No, right. That was my job. So it's my fault.
So I'm just wondering if we should keep these childhood trauma stories in chronological order.
I don't think it matters.
No?
I think they've all had an effect on you in some way. I don't think it really does matter on the order.
Because the next big one that I remember, I feel like, was the summer after I had appendicitis. They had a bike-a-thon, the school for muscular dystrophy. And we had to go around town and get all these people to pledge us, 10 cents or whatever for however many miles we would do. And they had this route mapped out by the school, and they had it blocked off, so there wasn't any traffic, and you just rode. Supposed to
And
be
there
this
were adults
safe thing.
all along the way you were supposed to go.
Right, there were checkpoints.
Right.
Yeah. And so I'm riding along, and I hit a pothole.
And you're in a small bike.
I wasn't very big. I wasn't very old.
I know, but I think it was not as big as it could have been for you. It was small because
I feel like I was maybe 10 or 11. Third grade.
9 or 10. I'd go down a little bit, but it doesn't matter your age.
Yeah, third grade, I would say you're probably more like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But sure.
So it was the summer after third grade. That I know that part. I just don't remember exactly how old I was. And I'm riding around this thing, and yeah, I hit a pothole. And when I hit that pothole, the tire on the bike turned sideways. And it just threw me.
Over the handlebars?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And I just, hit the pavement and just slid.
You liked to fly when you were a child, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Which is why I don't like to fly now. So I remember getting up, and I remember my arm hurt, and I walked over to the closest checkpoint, nurse's station, whatever you want to call it, and I remember the school secretary was there and some other adult.
And a nurse.
Oh, okay,
A nurse was
I didn't
there.
know who the other
I
adult
don't know.
was. I just remember Mary being there.
Yeah.
And I
And-
said, my arm really hurts. I think you need to call my mom.
So in the meantime, the word got back to me. I'm at another checkpoint that Don got hurt. So I go over there, and they told me he's okay. It doesn't seem to be broke or anything. And I looked at it, and it's not straight across here. It's sunken down. And I
Straight
said,
across his wrist?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my arm is turned the opposite of what my wrist is.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm pretty sure it's broke.
You stayed at a Holiday Inn Express.
I did.
I may not be a doctor, but
I learned that my third year of med school. And if it's not straight across there, it's not good. So, it's a small town, and we go to the local doctor.
Dr. Mills.
Yeah. And he says, I could give him a shot. Is this
And
the
I
one?
remember this. Yeah, he says it's broken. And he said I could give him a shot, but the shot is usually, just as painful if
As
not
setting
more,
it.
than if I just set it.
It won't take long. I can do it. It won't take me long at all. I've done a lot of
And they're not talking to me. They're talking back and forth to each other, and I'm just, it's like a tennis match. And I'm trying to I don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to catch up here.
Right. You don't realize your arm is broken?
No.
No, of course
I mean,
not.
I don't even know what that means, really,
Okay.
at that age.
Right. Okay.
You know? I mean, I knew it hurt.
Right.
I didn't know much more than that.
Right.
And so then my mom makes the decision of, oh, yeah, he doesn't need any pain meds. Well, do whatever you got to do, Doc.
We'll teach him to get injured.
I don't think it works, Sheila.
Do you want me to hold him down? No, nothing. No, but just, here, I'll just step back, watch this. Seriously, it was like a magic trick. He's like, nothing up my sleeve. And he goes, I swear to God, this is exactly what he did. Right? I'm sitting on the bed thing, right, the exam table.
Right.
And he's facing me. And he goes, look at the size of that spider up there in the corner. And as I turn and look at that spider, he goes, snap.
Oh. Oh.
I'm not kidding you. I'm like, holy shit. As an adult, and I look back on, like at the time,
Right.
that hurt.
I bet.
That hurt quite a bit.
I bet.
But it
But
was
it was
over
done.
by the time you realized it hurt.
But as an adult, I'm
It
thinking.
still hurts though after it's been said. I mean,
Yeah, there was still pain, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. It makes me hurt just hearing it.
As an adult, I just think, how could you do that?
Because you were bionic. I thought you could handle it.
And then I think about when that doctor set your nose, and I feel like
Right.
he did the same thing.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And that's just rude.
Was there a spider?
No. If there had been a spider, I would have been up out of that bed and out of the hospital. That would not have been a good thing. But
Oh.
Yeah, it's scary when you know it's coming.
yes. Yeah. Although I didn't really know that it was coming, but yeah, it's still it was painful. But
Yeah.
So are we going to save some of the injuries for another podcast?
Yeah. I mean, there's too many. There's no way we could do them
No.
all in one. I
No.
mean, we haven't even gotten into junior high yet. We're
No,
still, we're
I
still
know.
in
still
elementary school.
oh good God.
And we didn't even talk about the stuff that was I mean, we talked about the eye injury, but I mean, I don't even remember how old I was when I had the double hernia.
Oh, 3, maybe 2.5, somewhere around there.
So do they think that was because you were born with it? You were born with the double hernia?
So that's what they thought then, but what I know now
Oh.
from
Carrying me?
all of the doctor's appointments and all of the studies and testing and the diagnosis that I have now, it's because I have Ehlers-Danlos.
Oh, right.
So the connective tissues aren't strong enough,
Right.
which is why I've had multiple
Right.
hernias.
Right.
So, Deanna had the same thing.
Yeah, and she also has Ehlers-Danlos. So.
Was she diagnosed?
Yeah, she's the one who told me I should get tested. It
Oh, okay.
was right before we got married. Remember, we were all out at the Vine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think that's a good place to stop
Yeah,
for now, and then yes, we can invite Mom back again in the future. And
There's always more.
yes,
I know.
It's a never-ending story. Oh.
yeah, there's,
And it's a miracle you're still here today.
We can start naming all of them, like the machete incident. And
Yep.
we should invite Jeff up and do the car wreck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a fun ride.
Of course it was.
I'm kidding. It was not fun at all.
No.
Thanks for joining us. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I don't know all the places that we are.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our
Vegas,
website.
LA, Paris,
our
all the hot
website.
spots.
Hopefully you're listening to this either on your favorite podcast player or on YouTube. Make sure you're leaving comments, share, like, especially like on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That helps us out greatly. We're having like twice as many people watch the episodes than are subscribing. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button so you get those alerts. That's helpful to us. And yeah, if you have
Comments and questions, we love them, and suggestions. I mean, if there's anything else that you want to know about us or
Right.
stories that you want to hear
Right.
more about,
Yeah.
please feel free to
Yeah, it's only
in.
us that's responding to you. I promise we don't really have a big staff. We've got
Have
one
no
video
staff.
guy that we forced to eat our food
That's
in
right.
payment
We
for
pay
helping
him
us
with
out.
Food.
So
You've seen those guys on the street will work for food. We got one of those to work for us.
no, we did not. Oh, anyway, so
You ruined a perfectly good story. I could have gotten miles.
that's
with
a whole nother podcast. We're going to see you next time. We hope you have a good time.